In this video, I'm going to tell you how to determine whether or not an argument is sound and how to show whether an argument is sound or not. So what I have written on the board is an example argument written in symbolic form. So we have the premises at the top. The first three statements are premises. And the bottom statement after the three dots, which is like a shorthand for the term therefore, is our conclusion. So our conclusion is that R is true. So the way to determine whether or not this is a sound argument is to build a truth table, to find the critical rows of the truth table, and to show that when all the premises are true, then all of your conclusions are true as well. So let me just show you how that works. So we need to build a truth table for our argument here. So we have 1, 2, 3 variables. We have P, Q, and R. So I'm going to build our truth table in the same way that we built all the truth tables before. And now what we want to do is we want to show all of our premises as well as our conclusion on the far right side. I like to put the conclusion on the far right because just that's where it's most comfortable for me. And then all the premises lined up before that. So we have P implies Q, and then we have not Q or R. So we have our three premises. In fact, let me just number these to make it more clear. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these correspond to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now all we need to do is fill out this truth table and analyze it. So in this middle section here, we can put any helper columns that we want. So maybe, for example, since we have a not Q there, I'm going to put a not Q in here just to make my life a little bit easier. So let's fill out the not Q. So it's going to be false, false, true, true, false, false, true, true. Then let's go ahead and fill out the rest of the columns. So the first column is very simple. It's just copying P over. The next column is P implies Q. So true implies true is true. True implies true is true. True implies false is false. True implies false is false. And false implies true is true. False implies true is true. False false is false. And false false is false. Okay, now we need to do column 3. Column 3 is not Q or R. So we look at these two columns and we take the or of the two of them. So true or false is true. False or false is false. True or true is true. True or false is true. True or false is true. False or false is false. True or true is true. False or true is true. Our last column, our conclusion, then is really just copying over our R column. So that's just true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Now hopefully if you've kept your rows aligned properly, the analysis part is easy. So what we're looking for to analyze whether this is a sound argument is we're looking for the rows where all the premises are true. So our premises are rows 1, 2, and 3. Rows 1, 2, and 3. All the premises are true in the first column. So this is what's then called a critical row. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that row, including the conclusion, even though that doesn't have to be true to make it a critical row. Now we look for other critical rows. The second row is not a critical row because we have a false in it, and as well as the rest of these. There are no others that are all true. Therefore, we have only one critical row. When you have the critical row, you may have multiple critical rows. For it to be a sound argument, all of the critical rows must have a true conclusion. In this case, we have our critical row with a true conclusion. Because our critical row has a true conclusion, then this is a sound argument.